This video is a roleplay between trainer and PDI. The PDI is playing a learner, at the beginner stage. The lesson is an introduction in the use of mirrors. The instructor has covered the following topics, but has taken responsibility for the use of mirrors, to help the pupil master the control of the car first. Cockpit drill. Controls lesson. Clutch control. Moving the car. Stopping the car. And steering. During the video, competencies under the DVSA Part 3, or standards check marking sheet will be highlighted.
So Sam, let's look at the mirrors. So at the moment I've been covering those for you. And let's have a look at the type of mirrors we have, the types of glass they have, and why we use them and how we use them. Alright, we're going to be sat here for a couple of minutes having a chat, so I don't know if you want to turn the engine off. If you want the window open, just crack it open if you're warm. I think I'll just crack it open. Right then, so the first thing you done when you got in the car is that you set your mirrors up, didn't you?
Yeah.
And you've correctly positioned them, but now we need to understand why we use them. Alright, why do you think we use those mirrors?
So we can see what's going on around us.
Yeah, why do you think that's important then?
So in case we need to change anything that we're doing?
Yeah, absolutely. So when we drive, we look out the front, don't we? It's really important to see what's going on out there, isn't it? But as you've already identified, it's equally as important to know what's happening behind us and beside us. What sort of things are you going to be doing that might affect what's happening behind and beside us?
Could be cyclists or something like that,
Yeah.
next to us, or
That's right, we could be slowing down,
Yeah.
as we have already, and we could be changing direction.
Mhm.
So that's going to affect those behind us and beside us, potentially, isn't it? Yeah. So, yeah, so we've got three mirrors. So the centre mirror, we're going to talk about this one first. So this has got flat glass. When you look into it, if you look at the image, yeah, look at that silver car. And now, can you look round your shoulder and have a look? Can you see it?
Yep.
Have a look in your mirror again. What can you see? What does it look like?
It's the same.
The same. It gives a true picture of what's behind you. But look at the same car in your right door mirror, and then look at the centre mirror. What can you see? What difference?
It looks further away.
Looks further away, doesn't it? So that has convex glass, and it's designed especially for that reason, so that you can see more beside you. It gives a wider field of vision.
Okay.
So it helps you see probably more, we'll call them hazards, as you want to manoeuvre the car left and right. Okay. And the same with this door mirror, is the same glass, over the same glass. So we need to check our mirrors quite regularly, update ourselves quite regularly. Okay. And it's recommended that we check them every 6 to 10 seconds, or
Quite
5 to 8 seconds, so it's quite a lot, isn't it? So it's really important, because however we react, we need to give people time to react with us.
Okay.
We also use them in pairs. So there's a routine we use our mirrors in.
Okay.
So the first mirror we must always check is the true picture, the centre. And then if we're changing direction, so if we're slowing down or speeding up, we check this one.
Okay.
If we're going to change direction, we must use this one first before we use the left or the right, respectively, whatever direction you're going in.
Right. Okay.
So remember, that gives you a true reflection of how close something is behind you, and that gives you a false picture. So we never use these ones to check for change of speed, okay, because it's going to make things look further away, and if we brake harder, chances are we're at risk of having a collision, because they're closer than what you thought.
Yeah.
I've got affectionate names for these door mirrors. I call this one Bob on the left, and I call that one Tom on the right. Do you know why I give them names? Because, any idea? No? What do you think we're looking for in that door mirror that could be a problem to us?
Pedestrians, cyclists.
Cyclists. Bob, boy on a bike. So I'm looking for on that one, especially when I'm negotiating T-junctions want to make sure that no one's crept up beside me and is going to pull off with me.
Right, okay.
What about that side then, Tom? Who do you think that I'm looking for on that one?
Don't know.
No.
Motorcyclist?
Yeah, there we go. Ted on a motorbike or teenager on a moped.
Right.
Yeah, L learners, guys that don't really have a driving licence and they're riding their mopeds on provisional licences. They might not have the knowledge that we have with regards to keeping them safe or everyone else safe. So we need to be aware of these things that are going to pass us unexpectedly.
Okay.
All right, Bob and Tom. So if I ever refer to Bob, you'll know what I'm talking about. Okay.
Sounds good.
Any questions so far?
No.
Okay. Other than our mirrors though, we've got certain areas in our car that can cause us a problem, and these are called blind spots.
Okay.
These are areas that your mirrors will not cover. So if you look in your rear view mirror,
Mhm.
have you got any obstructions to your view?
Not from there.
No? What about your headrests? Have you got that in there slightly?
Very, very slightly, yeah,
Yeah.
I suppose, yeah.
Okay, I'll come to that in a minute. But if you turn round, what can you see more of when you look out the back
You
window?
get a better view and you can sort of see there.
Yeah, you see stuff approaching from the back, can't you?
Mm.
Okay. There are 7 blind spots in this car, and that is one of them. That's number 7. Let me tell you what the other ones are. These things.
Oh, pillars.
Yeah, A pillar. So when you were negotiating turning into the road, did these cause you any problems?
I don't think I thought about it.
Okay, but can you see through them?
No.
No, there's a solid bit of plastic there, isn't there, that you can't see through. And sometimes you may need to look around them by moving your body forward.
Mm.
These are an integral part of the car. These keep the car strong. These posts, as well as the next ones. These B posts. These are B posts where your seatbelt is in.
Right.
Yeah, they keep the car nice and strong with the roof. Okay. If these weren't there, and we was to have a crash, it'd just all crumple up. So look at these. Can you see through it?
No.
No. It's another blind spot. So when we move away, if we check our mirror, we can gives a quite a good view, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
What's beside us? Can you see in your mirror that big bush beside you?
No.
Now have a look around that B post. Have a look round. Can you see a big bush?
Yeah, I can see the bush.
Yeah. So that's why we need to check round our B posts before we move away. Okay, we need to do that safety check. We can't just rely on our mirrors. We need to make sure there's nothing in that part that we haven't seen.
Right, okay.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 are C pillars. They're those big bits of plastic that come down from the roof behind the back seats. Look at them. Can you see through them? They're massive, aren't they? Yeah. So it's another blind spot. We need to make sure that when we're checking behind us that we're having a good look around to see that there's nothing in that blind spot we haven't seen.
Okay.
Are you happy with what blind spots are and how to deal with them?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Alright. So we're going to do a bit of driving like we've been doing,
Mm-hmm.
but this time I've been taking responsibility for the mirrors.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to give you some of that responsibility back if you're ready for it
Okay.
in use of those mirrors. What do you think?
Yeah. Are you going to talk me through
If
when
you-
I'm going to change?
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
And I was going to ask again how you'd like to learn these, so I can talk you through as we have done before.
Mm-hmm. That sounds good. So I can do what I'm doing, and then it's like we've been adding little bits at a time. So then
Yeah.
you just talk me through it until I'm doing it
Yes,
correctly.
absolutely. When we come to a T-junction, there is a routine we use, but I'm going to explain more of that when we get to do junctions.
Okay.
Okay. At the moment, what we're working on is a routine called mirror signal manoeuvre. We're not doing the signal at the moment, okay, but later on we'll extend that routine into mirror signal position, speed and look, But don't worry about that at the moment. We're just going to concentrate on the mirror and manoeuvre.
Okay.
We'll cover the signal when it's necessary. That'll be another lesson on its own. Cool, look at that car, look. Do you notice how it scraped along the curb there?
The whole way.
Yeah, it did, didn't it?
No, rolling back.
What do you think the risk could be of doing that?
Blow a tyre.
Yeah. Nice alloys were. Yeah, they could damage the front wheels, steering.
Like she does it regularly as well.
Yeah. So that's something else I'm going to help you with today as well when we're stopping, because now we're introducing the mirrors. I'm going to help you with this position. Where we've stopped at the moment is great, because we're quite a narrow road, aren't we? You've been stopping in the lane, but I want to show you how you can actually stop and know that you're stopped close to the curb without hitting it.
Okay.
Alright, so when we get to use the left mirror, I can talk you through how we can do that. Because at the moment that you're not that far away. Okay. But if we were on a wider road and we're parked a certain distance away from the curb, we could cause problems with wider vehicles getting past you. Okay? Are you right? You're looking puzzled.
I can hear something buzzing.
Oh, that's
Probably the
because
car.
it is. It's the battery.
Okay.
It's just energy saving. So what it's done, if you notice, normally we'd have some power to the car, but it's just temporarily shut off.
Right, okay.
Okay, that's all that is. Don't worry, it's not going to catch fire. Right, okay then, so if we do some mirrors then.
Okay.
So let's start with moving off.
Okay.
Okay. I'll do the routine for the junctions at another time. Now, when we come to the end of the road, if we do the circuit, I'll encourage you to use the mirrors that we need to check, okay, when we get there. But I'll talk you through it as you've asked.
Okay.
Any questions before we go?
Don't think so.
Okay, so do you want to get the car started and prepared for pulling off then? And then just let me know when you're ready and we'll talk through the mirrors.
Okay. Ready?
Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we check our centre mirror, and then we check our right mirror, and now look round your blind spot.
Yeah.
It's safe to pull away because there's nothing there. Oh, there's a car coming in front of us, so just wait to see what this does. You okay there for a minute? Now, before we pull off again, we need to do that routine again, because the situation could have changed behind us.
So centre mirror.
Yeah, well done. Okay, so you can see it's safe, so drive on when you're ready. So as we come up to this black car, okay, if you just check your centre mirror and then your right mirror, the centre mirror because we're slowing down, and the right mirror because we're negotiating it to go round it. And if we check on our rear view mirror, there's nothing there. If we check in Bob, there's nothing there. So we can now come in.
Okay.
And when you see the junction ahead of you, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to check that centre mirror.
Okay.
So there's nothing there. And then we need to check our left door mirror. Now we need to start preparing for this junction. You okay dealing with this?
Yes.
Yep. Well done. I'm going to help you with looking to see that it's safe to pull out. Just check Bob again. Having a look. Right, left and right. You're fine. Yeah, carry on, mate. That car's coming round again. So what I want you to do is just stop here, Sam, for me. That's it. We just hold it there for a second. Okay. So just let them go into the junction. There's another car there. We'll let them deal with what they're going to deal with. Okay. We'll not give a signal here because... And there's another one. If we give a signal, they might think that we're actually going down that road.
Okay.
Okay, so when you're ready, check your centre mirror, check your right, check your blind spot again, yeah, and now we can carry on. And check your left door mirror. Good. So in the new road, we always check the centre mirror. Remember to keep an eye on our mirrors, so every 5 to 8 seconds, we'll just keep an eye on it.
Okay.
So as we come up to this car, we want a centre mirror check again, and then a right door mirror check. You can see there's nothing there, so we can position over. But when we go past it, centre mirror check, and then left door mirror check to come back in. as we come round here, we're going to be taking the next road on the left again. So we're going to do a centre mirror check again. There's nothing there. Going to do a left door mirror check. There's nothing there. You okay dealing with this?
Mm-hmm.
And then in we go. Right, we're going to pull over on the left. So we do a centre mirror check. We do a left door mirror check, and then we find somewhere to stop. Right, okay, so we've done one circuit. What did you think to the amount of mirror checks we have to do?
It's quite a lot.
It's a lot to do, isn't it? Can you see why I took the responsibility for doing that for you at the beginning?
Definitely.
So every time we go to change speed, whether we're going to slow down or accelerate, I was getting you to look in your centre mirror, wasn't I?
Mm-hmm.
And if we were going to change direction, because we need to get around these cars, I was getting you to make sure that it was safe to begin with, in the mirror that we were travelling in the direction of.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we were coming back, because you were travelling in the opposite direction, we had to make sure it was safe again, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, interestingly, what I'd like you to do whilst we're stationary, you've stopped, and you've stopped a bit closer to the edge of the road this time. So now we know how the mirrors check. How do you know, without not checking the mirrors previously, how did you know how far away from the curb you were? Did you have a reference?
I wasn't using a reference, it's just
No?
that the road's quite narrow, so I was just moving a little bit closer than the middle of the road.
Okay, fair enough, yeah. And I didn't have a problem with that, and it was fine. However, what if the road was a bit wider and we weren't really sure how close we were to the curb? So we're going to use Bob, our left mirror here, to help us with this.
Okay.
And we're going to use something else on the car. What we want to do is we want to find a reference point to see how close we are. Can you see anything that might help you?
I'm looking at the door handle.
Okay, how are you using that then?
Well, I'm quite close. You said that I'm quite close, but the door handle is sort of sitting on the curb.
Mm-hmm.
But if the door handle was next to the curb, that might be roughly where I need to
Which
be.
one, the front or the back
The
door?
front one.
Shall we have a look?
Yeah. I'm very close.
So, we were quite close, weren't we?
Hmm.
So that gives you some gauge to where you're at, yeah?
Hmm.
So we're not touching the curb. I mean, that's an acceptable place to stop. Yeah, we're not up against it, are we?
No. And how far away am I supposed to be? Allowed to be?
Well, you want to be... If you look at that... Can you see that grid in front of this? That drain on the left-hand side here. If you were parked to the right of that, you'd be too far away.
Okay.
And you can see that's roughly about a foot, isn't it?
Yeah.
You want to be less than a foot.
So sort of somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. So you don't want to be like the car we pointed out earlier that was scraping all the way down.
No.
And what you don't want to do is, say we were pulling up behind that black VW Polo, if they were pushed up against the curb, don't use them as your reference, because you're going to do the same thing potentially. Okay. What the gap you've seen there, yeah, is fine. So whatever reference point you've got there, use that if that works for you.
Okay.
Now that's using the door mirror when you come to stop. But where else do you need to look to make sure it's safe whilst we're still driving? Exactly. So if you just rely on the left door mirror, where do you think the front of the car might go?
Up the curb, maybe?
Yeah. So you need to match something. Now you've got the door handle, great, but you need to match a reference point somewhere else to help you to make sure that you're pulling in straight. Because if you don't, what will happen is the back end of the car may stick out on the road, and then you could cause an obstruction for other road users. So whilst you're sat in that position, is there anything else that you can see that you can match up with your door handle that makes you look that you're as close to the curb as you are with the mirror?
The windscreen wiper? The little bubbly bit?
What, the bit at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah, does that look very similar to what you've got in the door then?
Sort of. The raised bit is something in the middle of the curb
Okay.
in front.
So Yeah, if that works, you could just glance at that, couldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to stare at the mirrors. We need to, certainly when we're pulling up, we know it's safe. We're just going to have a quick glance because we need to look forward, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe use the two to help you.
Okay.
So the first circuit I helped you, talked you through, as you said,
Mm-hmm.
using the mirrors. If we was to do it again, how much help do you think you need from me?
Probably prompting me and sort of, if I'm missing them, I think I probably will.
Yeah. So shall I prompt you if I feel that you're not doing it when I think you should be doing it?
Yeah.
Is that
yeah.
right?
And if I miss any, sort of tell me straight
Just
away.
tell you straight away? Okay, we'll do that then. And you're quite happy to take responsibility for what you've been doing so far as well? Do you need any
Yeah, no.
help with anything else? You're happy with that?
What I can already manage.
What about pulling up at the side of the road? Now we've got a reference point for it. Do you want to give that a go next time as well?
Yeah. Talk me through that bit.
Yeah, just talk you through that bit.
I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
I've just been sort of getting here. And
Yeah, you have, haven't you? I can talk you through that bit, and of course, if I feel that you're getting too close, I'll encourage you to move away from the curb.
Okay.
All right, but okay, shall we give that a go then?
Okay.
So, my main responsibility then is to help you where you want the help, where I think you need the help. But again, I'll just keep the car safe.
Okay.
As I did with the other cars with the signal. If any situation develops where I need to help you, yeah, like we did round there,
Yeah.
I'll come in and help. Is that okay?
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah. All right then.
Okay.
So, when you're ready,
Okay.
drive on when you're ready then. Oh, there's a car coming, Sam, so let's just wait to see what this is doing. Busy around here today.
Okay, so
Okay, when you're ready.
car ready, and then behind the shoulder.
Yeah.
Good.
Think you're safe to go? Yeah. Hang on. That car's moving, isn't it? Should we just wait to see what he's doing as well?
Yeah.
Do you want to secure the car whilst we wait for him? So any more than a pause, I'd always recommend that you stick your handbrake on.
Okay. So,
And then just get yourself ready as and when the vehicle, there we go, has passed us.
okay.
Right, okay.
Nice car. So, centre mirror.
That's it.
Right
Mirror, good.
Moving out.
And then,
Centre mirror again.
yeah, that's it. Well done. You're looking at the left one. Anything in them?
Nothing.
No? So is it okay to move? Yeah. You okay with dealing with this junction? Yeah.
I think so, yeah. So, centre mirror, left mirror.
Anything in them?
No.
Safe?
Safe. Speed down.
Good.
Close.
I'll check the junction for you. Nothing to the right, nothing to the left. You're good to go.
Car straight away. So, centre mirror, right mirror.
Yeah. Which mirror do we need to move back in, Sam?
Centre
Is it
mirror,
safe on the left?
mirror.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good. You checked the centre one, which was good.
Okay. Centre mirror, right mirror, nothing there.
Good. Another car on the bend. Just use those reflections. And then we're going to go,
Centre mirror, left
yeah,
mirror.
good. There's
Slow
nothing
down.
behind. Is it
Nothing-
safe?
nothing
Yeah.
behind that. Slowly. And then centre left.
That's it. See if we can get close. So use your door. Use just over to the right a bit. Over to the right a bit. Have you got the two matched up?
Probably a bit closer.
Close. Yeah. Do you want to secure the car? We'll have a look. Yeah, we're a little bit closer that time. Only fraction, but we're not touching it.
Okay.
Okay. So did you use those reference points?
I tried, but I think I was moving too fast when I came in.
Okay. So what would you do different next time then?
Slow down a bit earlier as we're coming in.
Yeah. Okay. As it is, we haven't touched the curb. Okay. It's we're still in a good position there.
Okay.
I did encourage you to move over a little bit because I just felt the front of the car was coming in just a little bit more than I'd want it to. Because again, we just have to, like we spoke about with that one, we just have to think of the consequences if we tap that curb. Alright. Got any questions?
At the point of identifying the potential steering fault, the instructor should have followed this up with more feedback. The instructor should have asked the pupil what they thought could have happened if he had not intervened verbally, covering the consequences of a wheel striking the curb, which could result in a safety-critical incident.
I don't think so. I mean, I would like not to be that close to the curb, so...
Okay.
Can we go round and
yeah,
do that
would you
once
like to
more?
do it another go? Yeah, absolutely.
Okay?
So are we sharing the same responsibilities again? How much am I helping you with the mirrors this time though?
Was what I did last time okay?
That was fine, yeah.
Ease off a little bit then,
Yeah.
and if I miss one,
Yeah.
then just sort of...
Just do what I've done before, because there was just one when I just sensed that you weren't going to check your left door mirror, and we did have a parked car there. We mustn't assume just because it's been parked there that no one's in it getting ready to pull away, because they could fill that gap as we're moving in.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so all right then, drive on when you're ready. I notice when you're doing things, you like to talk to yourself. Does that make it easier?
Sometimes I mutter.
That's fine. That helps me too, Sam. Because I can hear what's going on in your mind.
Not much. Centre.
The instructor picks up on the pupil talking through his actions. At this point, the instructor could have developed this further. To help the pupil work towards their learning goals, the instructor could have given the pupil an opportunity to continue with the commentary. This would have covered the competency, was the lesson plan adapted, when appropriate, to help the pupil towards their learning goals.
Left. Nothing.
Yeah, good. Oh, we've got a car right on the junction this time, so we've got to be careful here, just in case someone cuts the corner.
So go slower.
Go slower here, so I'll make sure, because this hedge is in the way, I'll make sure it's safe for us. Yeah, we're okay from the right and we're okay from the left.
Okay. So, centre, right, and out. Centre, left.
Yeah, well done.
Is that the one I missed last time?
It was, yeah. Safe behind you.
Right.
Yeah,
Nothing there. Magpie.
apart from the magpie.
Centre, left.
Good.
Centre, left. Nothing there. Braking. First.
And then just find somewhere to pull up on the left.
Okay, so
There's nothing behind, so you don't need to see that. Good. And relax. So, how did the mirrors go on that circuit?
we felt better. They're a
Yeah.
little bit easier. Than,
Yeah, did I have to come in at all?
You mentioned a little bit, but not very much.
No, only very slightly, didn't I? But I might have come in a little bit early on that car up there, because I know what you were thinking, and you've given me like a commentary. What you're doing is great, because it's easier for me to know what you're going to be doing.
Okay.
And if you feel comfortable doing that, Sam, do it. You know, And a lot of people always ask, well, can I do that in my test? Because the examiners think I'm going to be crazy. No, like me, they know what's going on in your mind, and it helps them keep the car safe as well.
Okay.
How did your pull-up go this time?
It felt smoother, but I think I'm still just as close, to be honest.
I think you are. You are. So it might mean you just need to play with those reference points a little bit.
Maybe.
Yeah. Have a go experimenting with when you're stopping, using those reference points to.
I felt that was more controlled, so I don't feel as bad about being as close, because I think I'm still a couple of inches away.
Oh yeah, you're not anywhere near hitting it, so you're not on it. That's the main thing.
And I didn't have to be told to.
No, that's right. So I didn't come in that time, did I?
No. So that's good.
Good. So there's one.